o'clock on Wednesday, which means we're starting our late. Wait a minute. It's recording. If you want to live stream, I got to compare plans. Let's see if it is streaming. No, that should be streaming. Check the feed real quick for me. Starts in 10 seconds, it says. As far as this thing goes. I'm just double checking. Trying something new. I can check the YouTube feed here real quick. So give us 2 minutes. Yeah, we're good. All right, cool. I love it. So, for all of you out there who are watching for the first time, this is Best AI Podcast. I'm your host, Leland Best at Best Studios, along with a few of my friends that are a partial example of the entire crew. To my immediate side over here is Ross McCamey of Maverick Solutions. Nice to see you, buddy. He's my right hand man when it comes to working on all this stuff on the back end. Jim Hankins above me from Cloud Bedrock, my A host provider and creator of cribops.com, along with Kyrie Taylor of Sekou Designs. He's our AI sensei. So we're looking at moving ahead as far as we can. Lee Love was supposed to be in the building today to show us his face on video. We don't know where he's at. If he shows up, we'll let him in. So Lee, if you're watching, be sure to come on over here and check us out. The thing that we're using here is Riverside FM. So if you guys have never really seen anything that's over at Riverside, go check it out. I'm actually just trying out the trial today. So I'm not an affiliate, at least not that I'm aware of. I may be over years past because I have used this platform before. But it allows us to locally record as we broadcast, so that if we do run into an internet glitch or anything of that sort while we're moving ahead, things are all good because we'll have local records of audio and video that are going to produce out to us in the end. Now we got both guys ticky-tacking like crazy over here because I can hear them. I'm going to see something. I'm going to see if I can put on, let's see. I got echo cancellation on me. I'm going to make sure we got them all here.
Jim's like, it's not me.
It's not me.
Hands up.
I think
Pull
you
the
guys
Hand
have
check.
Oh, I can't change it while recording. See, now I just learned a valuable trick, and that is make sure you turn your echo cancellation on before you start the broadcast. So I have two guys that don't have, and that's you two. So I apologize. That was my bad. I just didn't think about it when we started. So we're just going to move ahead. So a lot of talk. Why is my video shaking like mad? Do you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a chopper. I got a military chopper flying over my head.
Coming to you live from
It's shaking the building over
Air
here.
Force
Wow,
One.
that's a big one. Yeah, he just came out. That's a big one. We got a little airport here, but we see those come in from Selfridge quite a bit. Over on Jim's side of the state, you might say. You see a lot of those over there. But
Yes, we do. Yeah. And
So-
A-10s, that's my favorite.
the Warthogs, honestly, are my favorite military plane, attack plane of all types.
That's why I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm sure they've saved their butt a few times, haven't they? They are the true enforcers of the field, you might say. Good stuff. So, World of AI. I was on the show with Ray last night doing the New Oaks AI podcast, and there was a little conversation about Tesla and China, and I thought that was kind of interesting. If you guys aren't aware, Elon has been in talks with the prime minister over there and also with some other people in the U.S. And it seems like China's all game. They're willing to open up the streets for recording and let people come into Beijing and map it all out for the sake of autonomous vehicles. It seems the U.S. doesn't want us applying the technology. So a lot of weird barricades and bureaucracy and red tape going on between Elon and his dreams. But what do you guys think? Is it a good idea to have fully autonomous vehicles in the first place? And should we be giving them or using them in China? So what are your thoughts? Jim, I'll start with you.
Well, certainly any improvement over humans, based on my experience on the road, is probably a net plus. I don't know where they're at with that. I still drive old school vehicles, but yeah, no. I mean, come on.
I can't. I'm just not ready for an autonomous vehicle yet, honestly. What about you, Kyrie? Would you just hop in a taxi that something was not driving and just let it take you around?
It depends on the destination.
Yeah.
Like it depends on how long the ride's going to be.
Yeah, a couple blocks, few blocks, mile or two.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm in a residential neighborhood and it's not going above 25, I might get some bumps and bruises should I need to exit the vehicle, but I think I'll be all right. Now, highway travel, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, look at Ross. What's your thought?
Man, every time I take my kids to school, somebody about hits me head on because they're on their phone or doing something. So I'm as terrified of it as I am, and growing up like all of us did without it. It's definitely, it requires a lot of trust in someone who has no real stake in your life. But it's a little bit better than everyone driving like idiots on the road because whatever's on their phone is more important.
Have you seen the like bad videos of fails of these autonomous vehicles yet? I've seen two. One was a bunch of cars trying to park themselves in an apartment building parking lot, and they use horns to identify barriers where they have to turn around and like reposition. And they had like 20 cars just trying to park themselves in this parking lot, going in circles for hours, and people were complaining that they couldn't get to bed. The other one was some guy found an autonomous vehicle driving the wrong way on a highway. So
What could go wrong?
So
Nothing.
just par for the course. That like they're just fitting in where humans fit in.
Yes.
They're trying to emulate our experience as best they can.
for sure. So one off from Elon, Grok 3. Have you guys been playing with it at all and seen the numbers fall? I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you know I have, man.
You guys go ahead, take it from there.
Dude, it's very good, borderline scary in some instances, just because of the level of malevolence that we all have in us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether we embrace the good wolf or the bad wolf is up to us in any given moment and situation, but it's very cool.
I have not played with it enough. Ross, what about you?
I haven't played with it. I was pointing to Kyrie.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't have access to it, so I haven't played with it. I mean, I have it through X, but it's the minimal version. I think.
Really?
I think don't you have to have a paid version to have full access to Grok 3?
I wouldn't know for sure. I haven't really got into it. I thought it was something like that, but who knows? Maybe
It
I got
just-
access to it by way of a buddy who has the paid
Oh.
version. He sent me his login credentials, and I was able to kick the tires a little bit. So
Oh, I get it. All right. No,
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest battles and hurdles that they're going to overcome is that people who are already using ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Claude are going to have to work Grok 3 into their daily work.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest piece for me. I purely have not tried it because it takes me away from the productivity that I already have of going directly to the systems that I already know. And Google kind of screwed the pooch on that one too, where nobody's going to go to Google. Like that is not anyone's go-to to go to Gemini because they started out so poorly. So I think any newer systems are going to have to do a DeepSeek kind of model to really get out there. And I think Grok 3 is trying it. I mean, I don't think you have to have a crazy paid account to do it, but
no, it's about the same
We'll see.
pricing model. But Jim, you're a guy who's constantly on Claude and using Sonnet for code. So big upgrade over there too. What have you ever used Grok? You said no.
I haven't used Grok. I haven't been using Claude of late. I've actually been using ChatGPT, GPT-03 Mini High
Really?
more than Claude. Yeah, the Claude's too restrictive for me on the volume of size of context when I'm working on things, and so I just
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, you
have
may
you
wanna look at what
tried
recently
3.7
dropped.
yet, Jim?
Yeah, I was
I-
going to say.
I'm in that same mode where I'm in the middle of things. I'm not going to switch
You're
anything.
ahead.
My operating
You're ahead.
system, I'll change my underwear, but that's about it. until I get something released.
Just for those of you who don't know, that Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Claude Code just dropped the other day. So this was released February 24th. It's just a short 5-minute read if you want to go check it out. The link's in the URL if you can read it there. But it's basically taking the coding another level up, you might say. And it also has the API usage that you can tap into from the back end if you'd like. So if you are a coder, I would highly recommend you take a look at this. It is including a free pro team and enterprise plan over at Anthropic, as well as the AI for Amazon Bedrock and Google's Cloud Vertex. But it's just one of those things. It seems to be a more practical model. We played a little 3.5-minute video on the podcast last night of how it operates, but I wasn't that impressed with the video, so I'm not going to play that again here. But the accuracy using 3.7 Sonnet seems to have improved significantly when it comes to software engineering and as an agentic tool. So something to consider if you're not using Anthropic to take a look at that in the future.
on that note, I would say we need to keep an eye on these major LLMs that are being built too, because one of the partnerships that Anthropic has had for a long time has been, and I just dropped the name of the company. What's the coding AI tool?
Oh, I'm sorry, you lost me. I was off doing some shares over there. As far as the Claude tools, Anthropic tools.
No, the man, I just had it in my head, and I was going to have a whole talking point on it.
Deep.
No, it's the actual AI coding tool.
You talking about GitHub?
Don't you hate
No.
when that happens?
I hate. Man, and it's gone. It is not coming back.
Copilot or
No,
the,
it's its own company. It was the fastest growing AI company, and that got to 100 million ARR in a year, faster than ChatGPT did. And now I'm drawing a blank on the name of the company.
Oh wow. Lost me. Anyway, it's not a big loss for us.
It's annoying, but anyway, basically they used a coding agent in their system, and now Anthropic has taken that model, and what has been their number one income has been from API usage, whereas ChatGPT's number one income is from investors and people paying the monthly fees.
Mhm.
And now they've taken the model and they're going to essentially take it from this company and make it their own. So now it's going to become a competitor to someone who's been a main driver for their income. So we'll have to watch what these companies do as they build these out, and it will come to me, and I'll just blurt it out in the middle of the podcast at some point.
As you should. As you should.
Well, that's kind of like, I mean, consider the fact, like, look at Midjourney's in a big struggle right now.
Cursor.
Cursor.
Oh, Cursor. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Cursor. Yeah. Okay.
Everybody
knows.
Like, oh yeah.
You say it, and then I know it.
Hallelujah.
Right in the tip of my brain.
It had gone out of my brain completely.
No, we're all good. I just want to make a note for anybody out there who is watching us on the feeds. We are broadcasting today out on YouTube at Best AI TV, out on Best AI TV. No, I think I'm on my profile on Facebook today, along with a new feed heading out on LinkedIn. So if you don't know who the heck the four of us are and you've never seen our face before, that's probably why. We've never broadcast live out here in the past. Some of you may know me through my account, and the other three have come along. You probably know Jim as well, that have been out there announcing cribops.com, his latest endeavor. So if you are looking for who we are and what we do, head over to Best AI TV, where you can find a link to all of our comrades here on the show, along with some of our older audio and video feeds. But the best place to really hang out is over on YouTube at Best Live TV, or Best AI TV. Sorry, both channels are running on my end here. So, guys, let's just kind of go a little deeper for a minute. What do you guys see as the new face of AI as we move ahead into Q2 very shortly? I mean, we're in the third month of Q1 already. I haven't seen yet a lot of, serious early adoption by small businesses. I see enterprise going crazy with new builds and training AIs of their own. Jim, you run a small business of small business owners and people who need content and build things all the time. How do you see yourself applying AI in your business model? Feel free to talk about the model itself if you care to, and how it might help that as you guys move ahead in 25.
Yeah. So part of our business is agency work, where we're essentially providing software service and assistance in marketing automation. And we are starting to get a small percentage, I'd say maybe 5% of people asking the question, can you offer this, that, or the other? Our niche is not a super high tech group, but that's not unusual for a local business market, which is essentially what we're targeting, a specific education market in the local business area. But yeah, so it started within the last 60 days. People are starting to ask the question. And I think the other part of it is many of the people that we service are not a high touch, or they're not the ones that are rolling up their sleeves and doing the automation. They're just saying, hey, would you please, is there a way that, and then we're solving that problem for them. So in many cases, the automation tech is more advantageous to us as an agency to reduce our human effort in just like any kind of automation is. So it's not so much reaching out to the edge yet, to the directly to the consumer yet in our little patch. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's just kind of one of the whoops, we got a button click here. This is where I have to figure out the feature sets here. And it seems Riverside's not very pleasant with going from a grid up with you off to the side and going back to just a regular speaker grid of 4. So every time I do an alt sequence or use the command, it doesn't seem to unpin Jimmy. So I'm going to pin myself for just a minute. Yeah, I think that's kind of the case. And Kyrie, I know you're utilizing AI predominantly internally. Are you applying it to your customers in such a way yet that they're seeing some type of ROI, or that they're actually saying, yeah, we need more of this? Can we get more of this? Or are you getting these questions on the daily as to
So
what's next?
I implemented that a little bit more last year this time, and saw some really good turnaround with one of my clients. Like they 300% in like leads with them using like an AI chatbot, instead of, because their business model was specifically geared towards online communication in the wee hours of the morning. So they saw a huge increase for people who are in that cohort. I have been really trying to niche down with some of the things as it relates to the solutions that I'm providing for my customers in AI. But to answer your question, I think that the most paramount change that we're going to see and what the new face of AI is going to be directly correlated and driven by the the collapse of the walled gardens, I call it. It's kind of like that decentralized AI. I think that's going to drive a lot of it. I have a bunch of ideas about where that could go, but yeah, I think that's going to be the major driving force when you have, like, because right now it's controlled by a bunch of main players. You got OpenAI, Google, outside of Ross's comments earlier, Anthropic, DeepSeek, like all these big they're big players, right? But because things are becoming decentralized, now everybody is able to kind of like pull the source down, fork it, like all these different things. And I think that's going to have, it already is having a huge impact into the industry as a whole.
I agree. And Ross, you're just, I'll say it, you're crushing it. You want to tell people the experience you're having with adoption in the AI in the small business arena?
Right now with AI, the adoption is actually fairly difficult. You have to get in and you still have to engineer these. Leland, building these on the back end, it's not simple. So we moved to a model where we only bring on people who are actually engineers, who are going to do this, who want to use our systems to get it done a little bit faster, a little bit more streamlined, or we make people and require them to do a build with us. We will build it out for you, and then it's going to be up and running. And that completely, since December, has changed the trajectory of our company, because now the adoption went from about 75% attrition or more in some months to we've had 100% stability in our customer base. We haven't lost anybody since December, when we really started enacting the forced builds on there. Now, people have to pay up front for us to do that. Our time isn't free, but with that comes less wasted money, immediate implementation with AI in the companies, and working with the professional to actually build these out is just a smoother process. And now that doesn't mean it's 100% smooth. We still have to deal with a lot on the back end, but we protect the customer from all of those hiccups that happen along the way. And we just say, hey, this came up, we're dealing with it. And then we spend hours on the back end dealing with it while they're just sitting at their office doing the job. Yeah. The biggest thing that we've run into that's a hurdle is there is a massive learning curve when it comes to building these things. And most business owners are so engrossed in their business, as they should be, that they're never going to be able to implement. So working with someone that's a professional to do this goes a long way.
And that's kind of what I'm running into. I do have people coming to me and saying, look, I see you doing this stuff. I get what you're doing. I'm not sure how it'll apply to me in business. So what is it that AI really does? And I think the key here moving forward is going to really be productization. It's going to have to be us developing ways to show people, and people have already been doing it for years. Automation isn't new. Automation has been going on for a decade or more already. And it's something that we're just now realizing its potential as being autonomous. Before we had to make sure we were always monitoring systems and doing this and doing that to make sure things ran smoothly. Now we can apply an AI agent to do that for us. That's where the real game changer comes into play. That when the system becomes autonomous and can run itself, manage itself, audit itself, and reestablish processes as it goes that are better engineered than what it started with, like, it's following up on mammograms, 99% efficiency on locating breast cancer tumors. That's insane. That's the kind of progress we need to see in AI and as it moves ahead. And that's the exciting part, I think, when you really think.
Yeah, I think it's easy for people in the space like us to think of kind of like what we knew a year ago is what most people are getting exposed to today.
Yeah.
So it's for us, it's like the long-term kind of like evolution of it is so beyond what most people will be able to comprehend if we were to articulate it. It's interesting, but I think what I found in my business when I'm dealing with customers who are not sure how to do things or implement it or even learn how to use it is I correlate it with previous adaptations, right? So if you think about the most recent one right now, I think the thing that we're in the middle of right now is kind of like the death of traditional search. Most people would go to Google traditionally to look something up, right? Or some other search engine. Before that, it was you were going to the library, right? So when you correlate that together, you say, hey, this is like going from having to go to the library to just going to Google. That's people can kind of understand that. And then I think post that, you've got what we're seeing and we're implementing right now is that AI workforce piece, right? So the AI employees, the agents, things like that. I think the next evolution of that within a very short amount of time, I'm talking like probably by 2027 or late 2026 is true AI digital companions, where it's like people are acting on behalf of, a company in a role that's like completely hands off, right? And then after that, it'll be like the personalized AI identities, an extension of yourself, somebody who can actually represent you in a Zoom call and things like that. So it's interesting to talk about it, but it's like a lot of people won't correlate it because they can't understand the how fast it's moving. That's why I'm like 2027. It might be into 2025. Who knows? Because it's just developing so quickly. So
I think we're building it right now. Honestly, there are people that are ahead of what we're doing, and what I see us building right now are true clones of ourselves. And I'll do a quick little reference here in a moment. And Jim, I want to touch base too, just a moment. Why don't you talk about crib ops while I go grab 11 Labs for a moment to let you guys hear one of the recent agents we've spun up so that you can kind of get a feel for how it is. So how's progress going over it?
Yeah, really good. I think we'll have our release out this week. I'm just buttoning things up now. But yeah, so we've been focusing on, basically plumbing, if you will, to address some shortcomings, reduce the barriers and friction as it relates to making it easier for people to host AI workflows wherever they want. Could be on premise, could be on a colo location, could be small hosting, self-hosted in the cloud somewhere, but they don't want to take on the heavy lifting of putting the front door to that application up. So we're essentially building that tier that will allow people to tack that on, and all they have to do is focus on their own intellectual property to build their AI automation. So it's effectively plumbing resilience to get the messages from the request to wherever it is you're doing the magic thing with your super duper GPU farm or whatever it is you have going on. So
you're hoping by end of week you'll have the latest version available.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I think you're gonna like it.
All right, it says I'm having an issue.
I'm excited for that.
Screen. Yeah, this is going to be a big game changer for all of us because there's improvements in hardware. I'm still sitting on an M1 Mac Mini over here building flows, and they run just fine. But when I start to incorporate new hardware, and I've seen Ross, you showed me the stack of 5 M5s that Network Chuck built, and that's just
that's the kind of thing. Yeah, so you could use physical things to spread your workflow out. So it's not only connecting the pipes, but we're also enabling the ability for you to have clustering of nodes to in turn then pass off the jobs to your GPUs or whatnot. So it can be physical machines that you have in your house or at a colo location, or it could be cloud resources, and it'll spin those up on demand based upon whatever the job is. Is it a GPU job? Then you spin up the instance, let it run its course, have a little bit of a expiration time where it'll cool down and then shut itself off to save you money. So
that's another thing, is this autonomous spinning up of things. It was things that we used to do a lot of. Open an account for somebody, get a Stripe account opened, open a business account for something, move stuff around, move money around, whatever. But what we're seeing now is also these other connecting autonomous factors that are coming into play. And even Ray over at New Oaks is allowing people within the chatbot builder to spin up instant websites next, where you'll have your landing pages and everything ready to go with a chatbot widget built off on the side of it, where Joe Sixpack can just come in and say, I need a website and I need a chatbot and I need a this and a that, and it's got to be trained and it's done. It's literally ready to go. So we have to start now considering those, again, minor stages of, let's say, employment or task building that needs to start being erased from our mindset and start being fulfilled by these little agents that we're building out. And I'm going to test one for you here in just a second. You may have to just hear the audio only because of the way I'm going to have to do this. But let's see how this works. I'm going to try the screen share. And if it lets me, I will, but I don't think it's going to let me share the screen. Now, this is using, yeah, I guess it will. So this is using 11 Labs chat widget, and I'm just building a test agent. And I've put a nice big prompt in here to talk to it. So I'm going to call the agent, and hopefully, let's see if I can direct it. It may have to come through my speaker and talk over my microphone. So let's see what happens here.
Hi, I'm Charlie, Invest's AI assistant. On these calls, I can help answer questions about the all-in-one AI products available from Best Studios LLC, or I can schedule an online meeting with Leland personally based on his availability.
Can you hear that?
Can I have your name and where you're calling in from?
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Charlie. This is Leland just calling from Chicago, Illinois. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Charlie. I can help answer questions about the all-in-one AI products or schedule a meeting with Leland. What can I do for you?
I just need to book a meeting for Monday at like 9 a.m. Is that cool?
Okay, Charlie. To book the meeting, I need your full name, desired meeting time, time zone, and email. And to confirm, you want to book the meeting for 9 a.m. Chicago time on Monday.
Yep, that's Charlie Smith at gmail.com.
Okay, Charlie, before I book, let's verify that email. Is that Charlie SMITH at charliesmith@gmail.com?
I believe you got that right. Would you just repeat the email back to me?
Sure thing. That's Charlie SMITH at charliesmith@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Nope, you blew it. It's actually just charliesmith at gmail.com.
My apologies, Charlie. Let's verify that email. Is that charliesmith at gmail.com?
You got it.
Great. And can you confirm the time zone for the meeting?
Sure, that's Central Time.
Okay, Charlie. To confirm, the time zone is America, Chicago, and the meeting time is Monday at 9 a.m.
All right, I got to run, Charlie. I apologize, but I'm going to have to call you back and make another appointment. We'll do this later.
Okay, Charlie, I understand. Have a great day.
All right, thanks. Okay, and he's going to go ahead and hang up himself in this case. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick run through of a voice conversation. Now that's using Google Flash, honestly, as far as the back and forth that's going on with the connecting points. So it's an almost immediate, very low latency response on the call. You will find some of these AI agents use a text to speech, which supposedly this is. Now I talked with Ray Luana, the CEO of New Oaks, last night, because he uses the chat OpenAI feature, which is voice to voice, on his build, which is much different. It doesn't take the voice caller's voice, translate it to text, and then back to speech. It's literally a voice to voice engine that talks to itself and learns inflections and everything as well. So this is a pretty cool agent. I like the voices that 11 Labs always have, but how do you guys feel about talking to these agents? Have you guys, Jim, what's your experience with talking to an AI agent? Have you had one yet? Like where you've actually called a company and gotten an AI agent?
Not in recent time. But yeah, just listening to the demos of late, it's really kind of incredible how variable they can be in the conversations, just like you demonstrated there, where you're kind of trying to trip it up, and it's hanging in there with you. So yeah, it's impressive, and the low latency on that call was pretty cool as well.
I was
Yeah.
impressed. Ross, you played with it last night a little bit. Tell us what your experience was.
So I'm a little bit more critical of it after building these for a couple years now, and I think it's good. One of the problems that I run into, and I'm trying to fix that prompt on mine as well right now, is it makes the user give a specified time to be able to pull that from the calendar. And I think we need to fix that. In my prompt, I'm giving it permission to go ahead and pull 3 times that are available in the calendar without having to ask the user, because most of the times it's not intuitive. The user doesn't know what's available on the calendar. And if you'd have gone further with the time that wasn't available, it would have said that time isn't available. Do you have another time? Well, the user's sitting there like, I don't know. When is the next available time? So some of the prompting comes down, and I know you and I built these yesterday in a few hours, so we haven't put a lot of prompt engineering into it. But that's the big piece. Is the prompt engineering is going to be the biggest piece of this, and we haven't added personality in here either. That's another piece that makes these really fun, is you can actually give them personality, give them a tonality of the way they speak. But I think it's absolutely the future. My mentality with this is you take a business owner, a salesperson, a support person, and you give them an AI moat around them so that they don't ever take direct calls from anybody, and they can be more efficient and more productive. And they only have a list of high priority things that they cover. And then if anything rolls over from low priority yesterday, it becomes high priority today. And you can kind of start working a consistent process instead of being all over the place, squirrel moment here, squirrel moment there. That's what I think this is really about, is let's enhance the human by giving them a way to focus, and let the AI do all the squirrel moments and go out and take care of everything that pops up in the day.
And
Yeah, it's
Terry,
a
I
natural
think
progression.
as AI Sensei, you're the epitome of that. You want to tell us how you're applying the specific application of the tech in your lifestyle?
Well, I think the application is a byproduct of this natural progression, right? Like, so it's one of those things where, like, this is ultimately, this is a shift that's really about real-time conversation rather than just pre-generated text output, right? So I think the long and short of it is, the text to voice is kind of like that made AI talk. Voice to voice is going to make it converse, and that shift is what's going to redefine, like, the customer service industry in my business, your business, automation, even human interactions as we know it moving forward. So as I approach implementing more of these kind of like solutions for my clients, I keep that at top of mind, right? Like, the value proposition is obviously there, but people need to be able to leverage it and see it and understand where it's going, right? It's the reason why you can't use those pre-built out chatbots anymore. You have to have something that's actually understanding what the person is wanting, because it has to be versatile, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those
Makes sense.
conversations are going to be ad hoc. So
Yeah, for sure. And I just wanted to point to that conversation because you did make a key point in that conversation. I'm going to try and do a quick screen share again just to represent. I'd mentioned the other day of a new AI CRM coming out, and I'm going to mention it again only because it's not even available at this time. And it's called Day AI. It's a product built, I believe, by the owners and builders of HubSpot. I can't confirm that at this moment, but that was what I picked up on it when I first got into the alpha project. That's their whole discussion, is just have conversations, let Day AI do the rest. I'm not going to play this video during this broadcast for copyright possibilities, so just head over to day.ai and watch that video. It's all about leaving the legacy CRM behind and going into meetings of video conversations with people, transcribing those meetings, summarizing the conversations, and then letting AI tailor what needs to be taken next, the suggestive steps, the action steps, the knowledge of the people in the meeting come together. How can that coincide and how can that move ahead? That's where these things are headed, and that's what we're trying to build next. So whole nother conversation versus, I got my nice little CRM spreadsheet going, and we can still use those databases. We have to. We can't store all this data without them. And we continue to build grid databases, vector databases, all the things we need to provide the context for the AI. but we still need to find a new way to work. And I think that's where we have to focus. Jim, you want to mention anything as to how you're going to apply it next? I mean, do you have a goal in mind on how you might push AI into your business model?
Yeah, well, so yeah, I'm so focused, in my building right now, right, of the infrastructure. But I mean, the key components that I'm building are clustering and real time communication between all the nodes. And the reason I'm doing that is for the plumbing for low latency conversations that are happening across any of the of the nodes, right? Because you're going to have some nodes that are specialized for a particular task. And from a cost containment perspective, it's only so many GPUs you can afford to have, spun up and running at all times, unless you have $500 billion in your back pocket. And so, yeah, you're going to need to be able to be flexible and spin things up as you need them. So yeah, so that's what I'm focused on is that low latency and provisioning infrastructure on demand using technology that in some cases has been around for decades. And so it's a pretty bulletproof stuff. We're just putting a new set of shoes on it. So.
Yeah, I hear you. Any exciting plans in your next week of progress here, Sensei? Because I know there's a lot going on in your world. Any big talks coming up? You getting on stage anywhere to talk about AI?
No. I have some stuff coming up. Not next month, April. And then still, I talked to you guys about something that might be going down in July. Haven't gotten a confirmation on that yet, but really just in the weeds, man, behind the scenes and cranking things out.
Well, let us know. And Ross, I know you and I are banging away on keys like he is over there, and he's probably still building an AI over there on the side while we're working. It's like we just pull away from what we're doing every day to do these broadcasts, guys. This is not a scripted podcast of any way, shape, or form. Never has been, really.
I think they know that now.
Yeah.
It is evident.
But how did you guys feel about this format with the Riverside? Did you guys think this was smooth? Okay. I mean, there's obviously a few things I can work out. I think I figured out I'm now figuring out how to pin people. I can actually go back and forth and know that I can go through all these and know where everybody's at any given time and unpin them and, make a nice grid out of this. So I think it will be a quality improvement, and it'll also allow us to stream to LinkedIn, which I factor in as a huge part of my progression in AI, because I know a lot of you business owners out there who may be watching this are trolling LinkedIn looking for AI engineers and architects who can help you use this technology in your business. You're looking at 4 of them right now. So if you ever need to reach out to us, head over to Best AI TV. Scroll down to the bottom. You'll find a link to each of our websites or locations where you can find us. Jim, I think yours works. If it doesn't, I'll let you know. Would you prefer I send them to CribOps or Cloud Bedrock? Probably Cloud Bedrock.
Cloud Bedrock, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. And Ross, we'll meet together after this. So we're going to close it up. I don't have anything else. Next week, hopefully, we'll have Lee Love on the scene. Like he said, he was going to come on and give us his big rundown of his new historic AI video channel, which is, I think, a really great idea. It's all about ham radio and technology. So he's pushing little shorts out there with some really cool AI characters. Go check it out. We'll leave a link in the broadcast comments. Ross, you want to take us home? Just close us out and tell us why they should have AI in their life right now.
Yeah, if you don't have AI in your business right now, I would encourage you to start looking. Right now, this is kind of the wave where AI is hitting in businesses this year. 2025 is the year that I've seen massive adoption happening. And right now, if you're doing it the old school way, that's great, but you're missing out on efficiencies. AI can do a lot of different things for your business that will allow you to stay focused, like I said earlier. And if you are one of those business owners that feels like you're being pulled in a million different directions, AI can be one of those solutions for you. So just keep it in the back of your mind. If you have any questions, reach out to any one of us here and we can get some answers for you.
For sure. All right, man. Well, we're going to take it home with that. It's been a great episode. This was episode 26, I believe, of the Best AI podcast. So come on by next Wednesday, noon Eastern, where hopefully we'll get Lee to show us what he's doing back there one of these times, sooner or later. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you in the next broadcast. Have a great day. We're breaking the mold. With AI fusion, let the story unfold. From love to business, the
let the sparks ignite. AI in action, reaching new heights. Love and business blending into one. AI fusion, the journey's just begun.
All right, we're done there, guys. You can unmute yourself.